Press the bell icon and never miss an update from Bollywood now.
I would like to introduce the new YRF girl, Anya Singh. I was just having a chat with Anya, and she told me backstage that she's a little nervous. So be nice, otherwise I'm sitting here. So I'm just going to ask Anya, I'm just going to ask you a few questions that I've been dying to know. I've just met her today backstage, and we've had a little chat, but please tell me, how has the journey been so far? Because there's a life, right? There's one life before you sign your, your first film, and then there's the other. Like literally everything just changes. It starts to feel different. So what was it like? What was it like before you became an actor? And what was the first break like? And then what were the reactions? And I don't want to ask you anything specifically because I know that it's a thing, that it's a moment that you can't even say because there's so much that happens. There's so much that happened to me. So tell me, what was the first thing that you thought of when Adi told you, yes, you're going to be doing this movie?
So I remember when Adi sir finally told me that I've got this movie. That was my first proper conversation with Adi sir. Before that, I'd seen him at the cafe, you know, passed a smile, said hello, but that's it, nothing beyond that. And Shanu one day told me that, listen, I'm coming to office to meet you, and I just want to chat with you. So I said, okay, cool, like I'll wait. And Shanu Sharma takes me to the lift and she says, we're going to the 4th floor. Now, only because of Coffee with Karan, I know that the 4th floor means this is Aditya Chopra's place. So I was extremely nervous going from the 3rd floor to the 4th floor. I went and I sat, I had a glass of water because I was so nervous. And Adi sir walks in, very coolly says, okay, so you've got the film and I want you to work really hard. And so I heard that and I was like, I was listening to what I was hearing what Adi sir was saying, but I wasn't actually listening to him because everything just went completely blank for me. And I couldn't believe it. Like I thought when I get the film, I'll like cry or like, you know, it'll be very dramatic. But I think I couldn't believe the fact that my dream had finally turned into reality because it was very hard for me. So those 5 minutes I just spent staring and not listening. And I walked out, Shanu gave me a hug. And I went back home and I FaceTimed my entire family. And I think that's when it hit me that, you know, finally what I really wanted has come to me.
And nobody in your family has ever done movies or been associated with cinema in any way, right?
No.
So what was that like? What was their reaction to this, to hearing this? Were they prepared for it? Did they know you're going to be auditioning for this film?
So my mother and of course my father, everybody knew I'd been auditioning because I'd been auditioning for about 2.5 months before I got the film. And my mother kept telling me that, Anya, don't get your hopes too high because, you know, if you don't get it, you'll be very upset. So I think that's something I tried to do, but in my mind I was like, if I don't get this, I'm going home. Like, that's the end of it. Like, this is it for me, and I have to get this. So I was very positive about the auditions. I think Shanu and Habib sir and Adi sir, everyone was very motivating. So it was quite okay.
But then you auditioned a lot. Did you face, because that's a process, no? Because you'll go to a lot of movie auditions and sometimes they tell you, you've been shortlisted, and you're like...
So many times, so many
you're
times.
Like, it's down to 2 girls. Yeah. It's you and another girl, and somehow it's the other girl who's getting it.
So that happened with me a lot. In fact, they would call me and be like, you know, you've been shortlisted, and it's between you and one more girl. And I'd be like, okay, please God, give this to me, please, please. I'd call up my mom and be like, Acha mama, you know, I've been shortlisted for this ad. I think I'm going to get it. And of course, I never got it. I never got it. So when this happened, I think my mother and my entire family was actually really, really proud because they were very apprehensive. I'm the only child and I'm a girl. And since we're outsiders, there's this perspective that this is a big, bad world. And you know, if you don't have somebody to support you, you're going to get lost or nothing's going to happen or you're going to go down the wrong way. So my mother was very, very apprehensive. It took me a year to convince my mother and my family that to please let me come to Bombay because it was my dream. And I kept telling my mother, if you don't let me go and if you don't let me do this, I will always blame you and I will always regret it for the rest of my life. Because I'd rather go, get rejected, but I know that I gave it a shot, you know, rather than, acha, I could have gone, but then mama didn't allow me to go. So, yeah.